Hello again, this is Cat Snevens with Ashes of Creation, last week's news today. Also, if you like the news we bring you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to keep updated every week. The monthly live stream was on Friday, so we have some big reveals and info to share. Starting off on July 25th, we have a tweet that reads, "Players will have the option to adjust a wide variety of UI elements, including floating text. What other elements would you like to change and adjust? I'd like to be able to resize individual UI elements and definitely move them around where I'm used to them being. What do you think?" Their tweet on July 26th reads, "The Pyre have officially made their way in-game. Are there any in-game customization options that you cannot live without?" Next is a tweet on the 27th that reads, "PSA on recruitment job scam advisory. Their recruiters will not use personal emails, ask for personal info like your social security number or money or etc., or do an interview over Messenger. There seems to have been a rash of fake interviews causing problems for job applicants. Please take your time to read the article linked below the video if you're looking to apply to Intrepid Studios, or even just take your time to read it for any other job." On the 28th, we got a teaser of what was to come with a short video of a desert landscape, and my eye was drawn towards the scroll, but more on that in a little bit. They also asked us about the environment being affected by players. I'd say ice magic could put ice on the ground, and fire magic could burn objects as it. And finally, on the 29th, we have a really cool and appropriate fan art Friday by Kotaku1553464 of what they imagine the tone art to look like. It looks really cool and I dig it. This week, of course, included the live stream for the month, which had some pretty awesome stuff like the Desert Biome, new tech tools, and a new unseen before race. But first, we'll start with a question from the comments by Wyatt Parks. "As a crafter / artisan, etc., will I be able to give my goods to someone else and pay them to transport it via the caravan system to market, or will I have to be the one to do the caravan?" Steven answered, "There is a system-driven way for players to co-op caravan trips. And essentially, you have the driver or the owner of the caravan preps the caravan for launch at the caravansary, which is the node building that launches the caravans, and he can make a selection to allow designated players or members of his party to reserve space within the caravan, and then they may upload their goods into the caravan at the caravansary by interfacing with the UI there, and there can even be an agreement for insurance should the caravan be destroyed. Let's say you find a driver who's run many successful missions and you're confident in their ability to deliver, you may not ask for insurance. But if this is a new person who doesn't have an established reputation on the server for being a successful caravan driver, then you can request insurance, and that's an option for the owner of the caravan has to enable. And when you interface with that UI window, there will be an amount of insurance that will be placed in escrow and then given to you should the caravan not make it to its destination, or should the caravan's goods be lost. So there is a mechanical systems in place to provide that type of interaction. We feel that interaction is good, it's fun, it helps encourage the social interaction that's important to an MMO, but also it provides an outlet for players who may not wish to actually drive a caravan or launch a caravan or own a good caravan to transport their goods to piggyback with other players." As the background shows, they went on to reveal the Desert Biome. We got to see a small reveal way back in January 2022 with the Duneween Falcon flying over the region, which we had been playing as our backdrop on our tweet news earlier on. The giant scorpion at the end is a boss mob we might see in Alpha 2, and Richie SH does a really good breakdown of the trailer that's worth a watch, linked above and below, as well as an official forum post for feedback for the Desert Biome. Next, there was a development update video about the custom tech they built in Unreal Engine 5, which allows artists to do all the art stuffs in the world itself without having to use different / external applications. It helps not to interrupt the art flow. It talks about how the tool will help with its performance on lower end computers. So definitely check it out, link above and below the video. Also, let me know if you want me to go more in depth on any of these topics. I'm more than happy to try and make an extra video for that. Next, they showed off the Empyreans, which we were supposed to get the in-game models for, but Steven pulled it kind of last minute since he wasn't completely happy with how they look yet. But he mentioned that they will be close to this art, so as you compare the Denier models to their concept art, and it's quite close. The Rinkai are next, and I think they look much better in this art as the older model they showed was a little goofy and cartoonish, so I'm glad for the new look. And finally, we get to see the tone art. I mean, Toln art, and I don't know if I could be happier, especially if we are going by how close the in-game models should be to the art. Now, each of these three are the different species influence that the race can have dialed up to max. They have a pretty unique approach when it comes to character customization because you'll be able to dial up or down all three influences as you see fit between the humanoid, simian, mammalian, and reptilian influences, and as you dial them up, your base body, if it exceeds a certain percentage threshold, will assume the form and stance of one of the three primary types of influences that exist for the Tolnar. You can mix and match them as well. I cannot wait to dive into the character creator once it's more complete. The following is some of the more interesting things in the Q&A. So there was a question about if mounted players could bypass mobs easily or not. The answer, not at all. It is dangerous as there are specific abilities that can knock a rider off their mount. Also, someone asked about global cooldowns and if they will be implemented or not. Mostly a non-answer was given, and that we will see in a future combat demonstration and how they will work in Alpha 2 to understand Intrepid's approach. There was also an animal husbandry question. Will there be a cap on how many times an animal can be bred in animal husbandry? And yes, their cap is defined by the type, quality, and purpose of the animal to be used in the husbandry system. Another question was about corruption and whether your friends could kill you to help remove your status. And you can, but they have other ideas if it seems too exploitable, and Steven notes that bounty hunters can see the corrupted person on their map, so there's always a chance that someone can show up to interfere while your friends try to kill you, and then maybe take your stuff. We'll have to see how that works in the alpha. Furthermore, Alpha 2 will be feature complete before Beta 1, but Alpha 2 will not be feature complete at the start of Alpha 2, and it will be updated as the test goes on, as it will be the start of the persistent world that will become the public test server post-launch. When they are ready for Alpha 2, they will definitely let us know. They do not want to be rushed, and it's a marathon, not a race. Another question was about inventory and if you could see where you have things stored without having to go there. You'll be able to see it, although you only have access to what is stored at that particular node, which can be used at any crafting station in that node as well, so you don't have to carry around all the materials to the crafting tables. Another question was if mobs could buff each other. And the answer is they will have a versatile AI system for the behaviors of the monsters and groups of monsters. They have the ability to support each other depending on the classes available to them, quote-unquote classes. And then someone asked about leveling and if there would be empty levels like in Warcraft, I guess, but they want to have every level feel like you're getting something, that there's no blank levels where you get nothing, although some will be more monumental than the rest, so you have something to look forward to. I wanted to show the statue from the desert and the scroll from their teaser. The symbols are the same on both, which I thought was pretty neat. Could it be a goddess, or could it be a wizard that had a really big head? I guess we'll find out when we get our hands on the game or leaks our head. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you all again real soon. Snevens out.